Hey friends, how's it going? Marching band's over, school is still here, but that's okay, and I am back, and here's something that I'm gonna do something for you today. This game we're gonna be reviewing. We're gonna be reviewing a game, guys. I hope you're as excited as I am. And yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure how I was going with it. Anyways, back to the original point. I am back, guys. How have you missed me? Probably not, because I've only made like two worthwhile videos. Let's get crack-a-lack on the next one then. The premise of Risk of Rain is that you've got this spaceship, the Box 3000. Because there's a lot of boxes in the ship, if you couldn't tell. Anyways, it's hurtling through space at this giant speed. It's got a whole bunch of chests and stuff, and then, oh, but wait, Big Hoss has come to destroy your ship and spawn lots and lots of aliens and goons upon it. So what do? Oh, you jettison off an escape pod and kill everything in sight. Let's be honest, guys. It's the only reasonable way to do things around here. You just got it. It's just the way it is. I mean, like, look, guys. They're just trying to kill you. It's self-defense, okay? Judge, please. It was in self-defense. What, genocide of an entire race of people on a planet that I had no business being there. Self-defense, Judge. Self-defense. Anyways, we have 3 difficulties at which you can play this amazingly rainy game. We have Drizzle, Rainstorm, and Monsoon. Also translated into normal people's terms as easy, normal, now these 3 difficulties actually don't make the game harder or easier, but actually affect how you start or what you get out of the game. Its difficulty system relies on time, the lowest difficulty being very easy at 0 minutes, and the highest difficulty being something I'm not going to tell you at 45 minutes. It relies in a time-based progression of difficulty, getting more difficult as you progress farther into the game based on how much time you spend in one session. The 3 difficulties actually only affect the amount of money you're given to start, health of enemies, and the XP and rewards given for defeating an enemy. Now that that's all wrapped up, let's get into some characters. Now you can play as a large and voluptuous cast of characters, of which you can only choose one, unfortunately. But if you have to pick one right off the bat, you're stuck with Commando. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. We all want to play Chef because of his... But you're going to be stuck with Commando, and you know what? That's okay. It's okay to be stuck with Commando, because to be honest, both of them are about equal in power. I've won all of my games either with Commando or with Chef, and that's it. All the other ones just feel weak compared to them. One last thing before we get into gameplay, artifacts. Artifacts are very, very useful, and they help make it a very replayable experience if you can get them. They're hidden in secret locations around the map in these like satanic looking demon shrines, and usually you have to do something like hit a bunch of buttons in a certain amount of time, or just hit a bunch of buttons hidden around the map, and then you get an artifact which, you know, alters your gameplay somehow. For example, one of them, glass, makes you dish out 500% of the damage you would normally dish out as that character, but makes you have 10% of the health, so it's trade-off. And with that, let's get into gameplay. Now, the gameplay in Risk of Rain is actually pretty simple. You have a few buttons that you need. So you have your arrow keys, up, down, left, right. You're only really going to need your left and right keys for this. Then you have your jump button. Now, surprisingly enough, I mean, it surprised me at first too, it was spacebar. I don't know why, man, but it just was. And then you've got your 4 abilities. Z is your normal attack. X is usually a stun, C is usually a mobility of some sort, and then V, your fourth ability, is usually a large damage dealing ability that has a special effect. Okay guys, now time to go fast. Chests. Chests give you random items that can do anything from give you life when you damage enemies to make you attack faster, up to speeds that are way above those of your fourth ability, making your normal attacks deal even more big damage than your fourth ability. And this is where we start to get into real good territory, guys. This is where we start to do some nice stuff. Okay guys? Okay, now put me down for having a stroke, because I'm not getting up from after when I'm done with this. There's no such, I'm running out of oxygen, guys. There's no such that I can't. I just anyways, enemies. Diversity. This was made in 2010. It's still a great game. Just remember that it was made in 2010. That is your curve. Turn cloud sharing off if you have this game. It saves you a lot of time and effort of looking into why your game isn't saving.